I just got interrupted there with a call, so let me start over. Not over, but let me pick up where I left off. So I don't want this to be about me at all, and I want to spread the message of pointing the thumb. So those that are new to the site, again, I got to keep repeating myself, is when I say, I raise my kids saying point the thumb, not the finger. We all want to blame somebody for everything. So um, well, I shouldn't say we all want to, but a lot of people want to blame others for issues without looking at their own accountability first. So that's where the point the thumb comes into play. So I spent a large part of the evening um, talking with Jennifer and Brian, Amy, Mackenzie, just great people. But they got the they got the point and the thumb uh, meaning. They embraced it. And when you talk to somebody who gets it and understands the value of it, it's it's really rewarding to me. It kind of reminds me that what I'm doing out here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, is helpful. You know, that maybe they'll spread that message to their church or their friends or their school. And it meant the world to me. And on my way over there, by the way, I stopped at this little place called the. I put it on my set. If it could, the Boot Heel Barbecue, and family next to me said, "You got to have the catfish. It's the best catfish." And I said, "I'll have a catfish sandwich." And Nikki said, "Yeah, it is really good." It was literally the best catfish, any fish I've ever eaten. It was unbelievable. So shout out to them. Kudos to them. And then I made my way to Blondie's, and I met these folks. And the truth is, they would have put me up last night, but they're actually in between homes right now. They sold their one home. They're waiting for the next to be closed on, so they don't have the facilities. Um, and somebody didn't want me sleeping outside. It was wet, so they were able to put me up at a hotel again. So a part of me was kind of not bothered, um, but part of me was saying, hotels aren't the story. And then as I thought about that, as I made my way over, is my story is about humanity and people reaching out, and I want to talk about that in a minute as well. But my story is about humanity and people caring about other people. And you know what? If Missouri so far has been a couple of nights of hotels because people care enough about me as a fellow human, or enough about the message I'm trying to send to say, hey, let's get this guy into a room, then I guess that is the story, right? So it might not be as exciting. I might not get as close to these people as I'd like to get to know about them. Um, but there really is goodness out there. And in fact, I woke up middle of the night, maybe it was late last night. A gentleman I met back in Ohio, Scott, sent me a text or an email saying, hey, call me in the morning. I have a friend of mine that lives out in, where did I say I'm going to today? Sullivan, Missouri. And either they've got you a room or he got me a room or something. I got to call him and find out what's going on. But just this whole people knowing people has been pretty phenomenal. So I guess I'm changing the way I'm thinking about it and saying that now I guess if it was me getting a hotel every night, then it's not much of a story. It's just me going across the country. Um, but the fact that other people are reaching out and doing this on my behalf is pretty flattering and pretty gracious. And I'd rather be meeting folks and staying in their home, but there just is less and less opportunity as I come further west. And funny, that was a funny comment last night. So I was talking, and sometimes people say things, and me included, that I mean one way and people might take another way. So for example, last night, and talking with the gang, I said I was a little bit afraid of the West, and Amy took it to mean I was afraid of the people, and she was all not in all defensive, but she was like, we're good people out here. We're really good people out here, and she took it personally. No, I didn't mean that, Amy. I said the West just has less people. I'm going to be going to towns where they're fewer and far between, so my opportunity to meet people and to catch a place to stay, and people that would want to be interested in being part of the book and the story are fewer and far between. And she said, I get it now. So that was a little bit about yesterday and last night. Like I said, I'm heading to Sullivan today. I do have something I want to put out to you guys. I'm going to put it on my website as well. So this is for anybody that's interested. Um, it's mostly for folks back in central Pennsylvania predominantly, but anybody I guess, could take advantage of this or could help out with this. So my son plays for a baseball team that's called the York Young Revolution. And the York Revolution is a minor league baseball team in York. And it's a really good bunch of kids, great group of coaches. But these are special kids, and we're trying. Up in the Northeast, we have a tremendous disadvantage when it comes to baseball because of the seasons. You know, kids in Florida and California and the South, they play all year long because the weather allows it to. So these kids looking to make a career, get into college, are behind the eight ball a little bit because they're only playing 3-4 months out of the year. Well, with the York Revolution teams, they give us the facilities to become an all-year team, to play year-round in tournaments and practice and things that the Southern teams can do. The challenge we have is that everything costs money, of course, so it's quite costly to participate for a middle-class family in this program. But of course, we want to do the best for our kids and give them the best opportunities. So the York Revolution, New York Young Revolution, they have a website. We put a banner up every game. There's a lot of different things. We have a yearbook, and we are looking to see if anybody would be interested in helping out by sponsoring the team. Could be a family, could be a business, could be an association, could be anything. It's not overly costly, but again, every little bit helps. And for us to be able to field the team and compete at the level to represent our hometown and Central Pennsylvania the way we'd like to, it's really vital that we get this stuff filled up and taken care of sooner than later. So if you're in Central Pennsylvania, if you love kids and you want to have some pride in the local program, the Little League World Series is going to be starting up in Williamsport here shortly. We would love to be that kind of team that has that kind of skill level to represent. We want to, we just want these kids to have the best opportunities they can have. Would you please take a look at the flyer that I'm going to post up here in a few minutes, and take a look at it and see if you or somebody or your job, your business, your bosses would be willing to maybe back the cause of Point the Thumb, back to York Young Revolution, whatever it is that you need to help you motivate you to do that. Please consider it. Okay, I ask of you. I know times are tough for everybody, and there's a lot of places that could use some charity. So I'm not ignorant to that. But if there's anybody out there that understands, what it means to keep 12 or 14 or 15 little boys, united as a team, playing year round, being focused, and I'm not saying hitting the streets or anything like that, but again, it's a really good program, and it's really important for us to develop these kids to be able to play year round. And up here in the Northeast, we don't have that opportunity. So we've found a way to make it happen. But as I said, everything costs money. So I really appreciate if you guys can look into that. Outside of that, I just thank you guys for following and listening. I'm going to reach out today, hopefully get ahead of myself here a little bit with some people. I made some calls out to Joplin. I do want to spend a day there. I'll be announcing next week's itinerary as I get a little closer. Like I said, right now, I know the next 2 days. Friday I'll be in Cuba, and today I'll be in Sullivan, and I'll try to get on my midday a little bit out through Sunday to give you guys an idea, and then we'll go from there, okay? So guys, love you so much. Landon James, you're the best, buddy. Kira, I love you so much. Grace, you're the best as well, Sweet Pea. Kiki D, got a hole in one yesterday too. I think Landon did too. I think Heather did too at putt-putt. So guys, your vacation's coming to an end. Cherish that time with your mom. Get back home, get ready for the school year, and we'll talk later today, okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye now.